This is a Power 98.7 podcast. Now we're talking. Subscribe to Power 98.7 podcasts in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. There's more on power987.co.za.
This is your world. Power 98.7. Now we're talking.
24 minutes before 8 on The Power Business. We're very lucky and privileged to be joined in studio now on the SME Grind by Thembi Buthelezi, the founder and CEO of 10B's Connection House. And she's in studio wearing an absolutely fabulous yellow suit. People will be able to see that on our social media channels. It's really very cool. Now, Thembi, fantastic to have you here this evening. And as the founder and CEO of 10B, you were working in corporate as a software development manager, and you decided to form an event production company. What was the process behind that?
So it's quite a long story, which I quite enjoy, evening to the listeners. So pretty much growing up in church, I've always loved sound. I started off with 2 small speakers, keyboard, learning to plug it all together. And when I passed matric, I wanted to be a sound engineer. So my parents looking at me side-eyed with all these A's. I was like, sound engineer is not a DJ. So I decided to study computer science to pay the bills and sound engineering for passion. So when I got into corporate, that edge just kept nudging at me. And I've always enjoyed business since I was a kid, selling sweets at school, doing different things, running video at church as well. So I just decided to say, hey, let me do this for extra money, but it was also passion. So I've always loved working with sound and technology.
And what was it like starting a side business while you were still working at a bank and needing to really show up for work?
It was fun. So the good thing about being young, you've got time, you've got energy. It's a bit different now. Now I've got a team that manages a lot of the things. But starting out, it was fun for me. It was I didn't have much money to start out, so I actually put up a website. That's my tech skill. Advertised, and then I started getting suppliers to do the work. I worked capital and built my equipment base, and just kept growing the company by bringing in equipment and bringing in people I could work with to build the business.
If you'd like to ask Thembi any questions, the number to dial is 0861 987 000. You can also reach us on our WhatsApp line. The number there is 083 303 7093. And you can post to us on X at PowerFM 987. Let's then just talk about the event production market and some of the roles involved in that. It's very labor intensive as well.
Yeah. So at 10B's Connection House, we specialize in events production. So we do sound, lighting, staging, LED screens and TVs. And for me, it's been a learning process to put all these things together. Started off with sound, and then we just built it up. So events is quite broad, but for me, it's just a beautiful experience when it all comes together. It starts off as an idea, and then we put the whole production together. So we've worked on some pretty amazing events. And for me, I love the big events, but I generally also honor the smaller events, like your wedding, your church services, people's parties. And then we speak about big festivals, working with big banks, also working with telecommunication companies. So I just love the thrill of production and the stress. And people ask me to say, hey, you work in corporate, what do you do for fun? I gig.
Wow. So you work and then you work.
Yes. But that work for me is my distressor, because I just love projects coming together.
What are some of the highlights? What are some of the events that you really enjoyed working on?
So some of the events I enjoyed working on, it's building stages for Jams on Ice, Metro FM Heatwave. So it's quite nice working with those big brands. Also just hosting the MTN board, their streaming, their conferences. So it's always just that thrill to say, hey, I'm working with international brands. And for me, as I've said, I'm a church girl. So like when I'm in church, I enjoy personally the event more. I go there myself. So I work on big church events like Umkhuleko and Daba, putting together the stage, lights, and LED screens. And for me, what's been nice, because I called it 10B's Connection House, because 10B is a play on my name, 10B. And then Connection House was, for me, just connecting people to production, good production. Because as we know, like productions are very expensive. So I was just looking for affordable ways of bringing the services to the people. So in terms of just expanding our services more than the usual TVs, LED screens, we were part of the first people to jump on that wave and bring LED screens, make them more accessible to people. We also just have touch screens for conferences, registrations, for marketing and exhibitions. So for me, it's all just about bringing this innovation and making it accessible.
Being in events and lighting and production is incredibly high pressure. How do you deal with some of those pressures?
So I deal with it in terms of planning. So I always tell my team, if you plan, something will go wrong. If you don't plan well, everything will go wrong. So it always starts with planning. We look at our plan. We say what else can go wrong. We try spread our timelines so that we're not just doing things last minute, and we work together with the team. So I've got an incredible team at 10B's Connection House. Shout out to the team. So I've got an incredible team, and I've also just built a network of suppliers and people in the industry. I always just tell business people that you can't do this thing alone, and don't try be a lone ranger. Make connections, make partnerships with people in the industry, so that when you've got you don't have that capacity, your hands are full, you can call a brother, you can call a sister who has the same level of excellence, who can help you deliver, and then at the end it's your brand that rises. So I believe in collaboration and building teams.
You've touched on some of the challenges that you face. COVID-19 must have been a very difficult period for a company like yours, for 10B's Connection House.
Wow, you're taking me back. It was quite rough. I had staff, and I think the wisdom that saved me during COVID is that I had this drive to expand. Let's get bigger premises. Let's get bigger things. But my business partner and operations manager at the time was more reserved and restrained me. I think it was just by sheer luck. So we always worked to keep our expenses base low. But even given that, COVID was really rough, because we went for months with not a single cent coming in. And for me, the toughest thing I had to do during COVID was let my staff member go. It was the first time facing retrenchments, but it was a learning curve for me. And although this experience was rough, I still treasure it. That's why I just make sure that when people come work for me, I make sure that they leave better than how they came. So I invest in training so that people can rise.
What's the kind of culture that you're trying to build at 10B?
So the culture I try build at 10B's Connection House is a culture of excellence. It's a culture of honesty. So sometimes my team fights for me for being too honest, but it's a culture of honesty. So when we speak to our clients, I like, as you say, I'm a software development manager by day, businesswoman by night. For me, requirements are very important. So when Taylor, you come to me to say, hey, I'm hosting this conference, I want a stage, I want LED screens. I just don't take that requirement. I'll be like, okay, so what's your vision? What are you trying to achieve? So that we build it. So we spend time with the clients, understanding requirements, understanding the heart behind the event, so that we deliver what you truly desire. Because what you truly desire are not LED screens, it's not touch screens, it's not lights, but you want your memories, you want your guests to feel the right experience. And for our clients, I'm very big on delivery on time and excellently. if you're running an event, it's stressful enough.
Very stressful.
You want production to just work. So that's where we come in, and we ensure that from planning to delivery, we take away the stress.
What are some of you've spoken with so much passion about the role and about some of the highlights what is some of the day-to-day things that you enjoy about the company? There's a lot of engagement with partners that you have, speaking to clients.
Yeah. So I think what I enjoy building people. I'm a people developer at heart. So I enjoy working with the team. I enjoy looking innovatively, looking outside to say, hey, what's coming up in the industry? What new products can we bring in? And I just also enjoy working with other entrepreneurs. I'm very open with information. I believe I'm where I am because I was mentored by people who were older in the industry, who saw the spark in my eyes.
In the event production industry.
Events production. I remember when I first imported my first screen in China, I was still just hustling the money to buy it. So one of my suppliers who had been buying in China was just like, hey, he normally just goes there, looks at the products, then brings it in. He was just like, here's a supplier, I've worked with them before, and that saved me about 60,000. So those are the type of relationships I encourage people to have. As much as people give to you, you must also give to other people.
And how do you pass that mentorship or giving spirit along?
Yeah, so I pass it through my consulting business. So I have a speaking business where I get invited by different entrepreneurship organizations, and I just share strategies of how they can build their businesses from the ground up. I also had the privilege of building my business from the ground up without a lot of capital. So I like sharing that. I also do mentorship and coaching. So for me, that's just, it's passion, because I believe in building the country and working on producing employment and being producers and dominating. So that's how I build the community, and I quite enjoy it.
You're quite stacked with degrees. There were 4 that I counted: a bachelor's in computer science, honors in information systems, an MBA from Wits, and you studied music and sound engineering at Rhodes University. How did these diverse degrees bring you to where you are today?
I think it's the power of learning, right? So I think it was Adolf Toffler who said that the illiterate of the future will be those who aren't able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So for me, education it's about keeping sharp, and for me, it's not just about the degrees, but the application of knowledge. So just starting off, it was just my undergrad and understanding tech, and how it helps me is that when I'm supporting my team, I can support my team in the middle of the night. I can get a phone call and I'll be like, hey, it's that cable. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? So I kind of know.
So you absolutely know your business ins and outs.
Back to front. People look at all those cables. Yes, I can do them. I right now I push invoices more and stakeholder engagement, but it just helps knowing the full business. And also just with the business degree, for me, it was the relationships I made with the people at school. It was quite inspiring, eye-opening, and just now it gives me a more strategic view of working on my business and not just working in my business.
The time is 10 to 8. We're in conversation with Thembi Buthelezi, founder and CEO at 10B's Connection House. We're talking about a very inspiring journey that took you along founding your own company. It's been super inspiring. The number to dial is 0861 987 000 or WhatsApp us on 083 303 7093 if you'd like to be part of this conversation.
Power Business with Tahila Nisalo. Monday to Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m.
11 minutes before 8 on the Power Business. We still have Thembi with us in studio talking about business, 10B Connection, the Connection House, and the very inspiring story of founding the successful events production company. You're running a program now at the moment. Do you want to just tell us more about this?
Yeah, so we looked at our communities, and as you've seen, I'm quite passionate about education. So as Connection House, we are running a school shoe drive with the team. So we are collecting shoes to just support some of our school-going kids during winter. So we just believe that everybody needs a chance at education, and education is what can create a future for our country. So we are running a shoe drive and collecting shoes.
And how can people be involved in that?
Yeah, so you can reach out to us via our social media. Our handle is 10B Connection House. So it's the number 1, the number 0B Connection House. You can also just get our contact details from our website, which is www.connectionhouse.co.za.
Thembi, you mentioned earlier the kind of tech innovations that you've brought in and that you've seen around LED screen, touchless screens. What are some of the trends that you're seeing in the event production industry?
So some of the trends we're seeing, it's during COVID, we saw people move away from big gatherings and go to streaming. So that has gone up pretty well. And then we're seeing people now going to bigger events. So even for smaller events that used to be intimate, they are now becoming full-blown productions. I was amazed. We also do baby showers, gender reveals. I was amazed at the fanfare that people are doing for such events. So basically, intimate events are now just being handled as big events because it's people's memories, it's people's experiences. So if you're hosting something, consider going big.
We have a WhatsApp message from Elohim Bible Church saying, so lovely hearing Thembi on Power FM. She and her company are a gift to our church. You spoke about church earlier.
Yes, so thank you very much to church. Yeah, I'm passionate about church because that's where my gift was developed.
Right. And I mean, some of those are really big productions that require massive amounts of planning in church.
Yes. So as I spoke earlier in terms of our planning phases, when we get that requirements, we're planning with the client in terms of what they want. And even with the delivery, we normally with conferences, we'd be staging a day or two before because we are very big on excellence and making sure the vision comes to life. And for me, part of the pleasure is also just bringing jobs. Besides my full core team, when we're hosting these big productions, we have a lot of freelancers. We have some skilled freelancers which we get to employ, and plus we have some lowly skilled freelancers which we get to teach the industry, which for me is a blessing.
We've got another WhatsApp coming through from Mankoana. When I met Thembi at university, she already had the knack for business and was actually practicing it, moving the vending machine around campus to sell airtime. Well done, my friend. Keep going. Please tell us about this, the vending machines on campus.
Yes. So this is before we could buy airtime on cell phones and banking apps. So I actually went out and bought a vending machine with one of my school friends. So we had it there by the dining hall, and people would buy airtime, and you'd be amazed that we'd count about 30 to 40,000 rand a week physically counted from 5 rands, 1 rand, 10 rands, 20 rands. We even hired one guy from church who used to be our security and he'd take us in his
That's
Corolla.
how big the business was.
Yeah, it was a massive business. He'd take us in his Corolla to go deposit the money. But all those things, hence I just talk to people and entrepreneurs, don't despise small beginnings because that's where you get to learn a lot of things. And during that vending machine time, I learned cash flow management. I learned stakeholder engagement, working with a partner. And when I left...
Security.
Right. Yeah, and when I left, I also just learned to manage a business remotely because I came to Joburg to work and the team still continued the business until I sold.
It's an interesting point you bring up there about vending machines. And of course, vending machines for airtime are completely null now. They're not really necessary. But the event production space won't be affected by AI too much because it requires such a strong physical component.
Yeah, so I think the AI components of events would be more around the planning and staging of events, but events are more around connection. Hence, you're seeing people go back into the stadiums to filling them up, to filling up venues, because it's more around connecting with people and just sharing that energy as people. So as a technologist, I've used AI. I'm using it also in one of my startup. It's amazing. I encourage entrepreneurs to study it and just use it more than just asking questions. But you can build systems, you can build softwares with it. But for the event space, I'm seeing it more as a support function.
And what are some of the growth plans that you have ahead for 10B Connection House?
So the growth plans I really want to take the country by storm. So right now we travel across the country to deliver on events, but we get a lot of inquiries from Durban and Cape Town. People are like, do you guys have a branch? So we've been looking at it with the team, and now we're just working on processes to say, how do we build a stable blueprint that we can copy and paste and franchise to Durban and Cape Town. So Durban, Cape Town, we're looking.
10B Connection is coming for Durban and Cape Town. And what's involved in growing your geographic footprint?
So what's involved? It's mainly building the team that will execute, and also just the funding of getting the equipment. As I mentioned, equipment is expensive, so it would be getting the funding and then also building the team that can execute with excellence and not compromise our brand.
It sounds like you have a very full plate ahead. And you mentioned that you juggle this just because you have so much energy.
Yeah, so I've got a full plan ahead, and I'm a visionary. I believe in vision, and more than vision, I believe in executing. So I want to leave South Africa as a better place. I want to be part of solving problems. I don't just believe in chatting about our problems. We know the problems we have. We've got unemployment. Our economy is not as strong. But if I can do something to help someone, to build the company, to build the economy, why not?
It's a very interesting and inspiring point of view, and taking that responsibility and saying, let me employ people by doing that.
Yes, so very big on employment, very big on youth employment. And I just challenge everybody, if you're an entrepreneur, please employ the youth and let's grow our businesses. Sometimes it gets tough. Sometimes you ask yourself, is it worth it? But when you see the fruits and the lives that you impact, it's always worth it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, 10B, for coming into studio, taking us through this journey of 10B Connection House.
Power Business was proudly brought to you by MTN. Today, we make moves.
You've been listening to a Power 98.7 podcast. For more podcasts, visit power987.co.za or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.